G'day, my name's Darryl Webb and today we're going to have a look at the Panasonic G7. By the end of this video, hopefully you will know what the camera does well and what it doesn't do well, and is it still worth buying in 2018. And here it is, the Panasonic G7. It's a Micro Four Thirds sensor size and mirrorless camera. It's styled as a digital SLR. It has a 2.5 inch touchscreen and with a screen that can be rotated forward, upwards, down, whichever way you want. It suits quite well. The construction of the camera is actually virtually all plastic, but still seems quite robust. With the touchscreen on the back, you could use the menu system, and you can also use touch focusing. With the menu system, it's quite well laid out, a lot better than some other cameras that I've used in the past, but all in all, very well. The touchscreen is bright enough to see in the strong sunlight, performs quite flawlessly. Whilst in the menus, you can also use the dials as well. The top dials feature all the regular things, with the addition of 3 custom modes, a built-in intervalometer and focus stacking. I've found battery life to be exceptional on the G7, getting about 1.5 hours for 4K continuous shooting and about double that with 1080. And other handy features are the built-in flash, which is great for pictures in low light. The built-in picture-in-picture with focus peaking is very handy when manual focusing, and the built-in optical image stabilization is very good. The autofocus works very well in 1080 resolution and in photo mode, but as you change to 4K, you will find that, as seen here, it can often struggle and sometimes get a little lost. Rolling shutter performance may be best in class, but as with all Micro Four Thirds systems, low light performance is par sub. While more than capable of doing a well lit night lapse, astrophotography is reasonably off the menu. So far I've really just picked on the camera. I've pointed out its weak points, and there are 2 weak points, there's no denying it. The Micro Four Thirds system and Panasonic doesn't deal great with low light. But also, with that said, there's a great range of lenses. There's wide angle lenses, there's Panasonic lenses obviously, there's Olympus lenses, and there's a whole range of third-party lenses. So I don't have a problem with that. There's faster glass. You can get around, you can get a good quality lens for $400 or $500 that will actually give you reasonable low light performance. So to me, that's not a problem. The next one that is sort of there is the autofocus. I sort of felt I had to mention in this video because of other people have mentioned it. I personally don't find it much of a problem. I film mainly in 1080. When I do want to film in 4K, I'm usually behind the camera, so it's not a problem that comes up very often for me. If it is a scenario where we want to use 4K and I want to be in front of the camera, there's a Panasonic app. Now, unlike a lot of other apps, I'm sure you've all done it before, you've bought something and the app does this and the app does that. When in the real world, quite often they don't work that great. The apps can be a little bit fuzzy, they can do lots of different things. I found with the Panasonic app it's faultless. You can control everything on the camera. You can control its white balance, its ISO, everything you can control on the camera from behind you can do from the app. And the app works, it doesn't crash, it just works. It's a good quality app. And that pretty much to me makes up all the problems that we'd have with autofocus anyway. Not a big issue. It's 2018 now. I think the only way you can sort of say, if this camera is still good to buy in 2018, to say, right now, would I buy one? If I had no camera right now, I'd definitely go back to a Panasonic G7. There's nothing else like it in the market that has forward-facing screen, microphone input, interchangeable lens system, decent battery life. It gives you 4K, all in one little package. And it's not just about the price. There's a lot of other cameras that are more expensive, and they do some of the things that Panasonic's a little bit weaker at. They do some of them better. Sony's make great low-light cameras and whatnot, for instance. But in this price range, there's nothing like it. As a whole, the only other people who are making stuff like it is actually just higher level Panasonics. The GH5, the G85 is a bit of an upgraded version of this. So would I buy now? Yeah, definitely. It's not just about price. The fact that the camera is only a $700 or $800 camera with a kit lens is just an absolute bonus. When you consider it, all the things that you get, it's very, very hard for the competition to match that. Panasonic's higher levels don't match that for price. It's price aside, it's a very good camera. At that price point, it's unbeatable. Definitely, I would buy it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, maybe a thumbs down if it's terrible. And if you want to see more outdoorsy stuff, subscribe.